Empty arena?
I was just talking about, I couldn't even fathom what or conceptualize what that would even feel like.
Now to growing concerns about the deadly coronavirus officially hitting the U.S. Here's what we know. A Washington state resident fell ill after returning from Wuhan, China, where the outbreak began. The World Health Organization is holding an emergency meeting right now.
Between the Cleveland Cavaliers and your Chicago Bulls.
Don't know is a lot about this virus. We don't know its incubation period. We don't really know the route of transmission, how many will go on to develop mild symptoms, things like pneumonia requiring hospitalizations, and we certainly don't know the fatality rate yet.
At guard, 6'3" from St. Mary's, number 18, Andrew Della Vedova. The head coach of the Cavaliers is J.B. Bickerstaff.
Bulls Nation, you know what time it is.
Run with us.
Let's get this started. It's time to rise. It's time to believe. It's time to cut the lights.
Are you with us?
Here we go.
Second time tonight, they've gotten it.
Sacks into the paint. Out top for Drummond.
Here in the second half.
Dellavedova to the pocket. Finds Drummond. Just over the outstretched bench. Love makes a good catch. Transpired. He's got it. Bickerstaff under moving screen there. White to the bucket. He's good. Cavs need to stop. Dellavedova nearly with a steal. Knocks it away. Loose ball. Picked up by Drummond. Can the Cavs get a timeout? Yes, they do. Tracked down by Porter. And the Bulls win it tonight here in Chicago. Your final score, 108-103.
What was the difference tonight? Is there anything that you would have seen done differently towards the end?
I think we could have done a better job of finishing. You look at the offensive rebounds that we gave up down the stretch. We did a really good job defensively to get stops and get back in the game. But, we gave up big offensive rebounds, and they made us pay.
Missed a few shots, and that happens, and we just got to continue to get better.
Obviously both teams had players out, but we feel like, there were plays down the stretch that we can learn from.
Playing games without fans in the stands eventually.
It's coming.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on, I don't know if you have any opinions on whether it should come, but do you have any sense of just what that would be like?
I don't know enough to really speak on it, and at least from a containment standpoint. But at the same time, I do think that because it's become so widespread, that it could be coming here very, very soon.
The World Health Organization declared that the coronavirus crisis is now a pandemic.
Rudy Gobert has tested positive for the coronavirus.
This astounding and unprecedented story continues to evolve. That the NBA is suspending the season.
And then the league is going to use that hiatus to decide their next steps, how they'll go forward. But this is the last night of NBA games for the foreseeable future.
I'm not surprised at all. It was the right move by the NBA.
Coronavirus cases spike across the country.
President Trump declaring a national emergency that opens up billions of dollars in funding to help states fight the spread of coronavirus. Businesses to begin making drive-through testing available all throughout the country.
The way the league is and, the purpose of competition, everybody wants to see, a champion. So if it's possible, again, safety first, but if it's possible, I think it's worth it.
The league essentially went with teams that were within 6 games in the standings of the 8th seed, and then in the East, only the Washington Wizards.
This is motivation for us moving forward. And whatever it is that we have to do as a group this summer to get better, we need to go out and do that. You know, whatever party the NBA is throwing, you know, we need to do whatever we can in our power to make sure that we're getting invited to the party.
That's good. Yes, sir.
I mean, everybody being in Cleveland this week, it's pretty dope. I know a lot of the guys was excited to just be able to get back into the facility.
You know, we're testing every single day, and everybody's got their masks on. We're staying apart. The coaches got masks and gloves on. There's hand sanitizer everywhere, disinfecting every time anybody touches a weight, a ball, every single thing.
So the protocols were very restrictive, of course. Health and safety was our #1 priority. Knowing that we don't exactly know what the next steps are, but we feel good about the opportunity to allow the players a safe space where they can come keep their body in that elite shape that we know they need to keep it in, hopefully going into next season.
When it comes to this, in this environment, I think you can't, take too many precautions.
Just coming up here every day, just getting some good work in, and I mean, just being around some players and some of your teammates is cool.
It's been great. I think, our players, did a great job of staying in touch with us. But once the guys got back here, it was great just to be able to see, okay, who's been doing what, and then what individualized programs, we need to be pushing for them, moving forward.
We all wanted to play. We all wanted to finish the season just because, it hit when we was just getting in our groove. I felt like we just had a new coach and come in, and we wanted to get reps under JB.
Being left out of the bubble was difficult. To watch some of the teams who, were getting those experiences and were able to learn and play together. They had 5 weeks where they could be together.
The thing I think that was so upsetting with all of us, we all want to play, you want to compete. So when you have 22 teams in a bubble, you want to be invited to the party. So we weren't invited to the party, so it's imperative, I think, with JB, what he has really been stressing, what Coach has really been stressing, what Kobe's really been stressing, is getting these guys in, getting some development with these guys, and let's make sure that that doesn't happen again.
It's like, man, it sucks because you want to be out there. So it definitely builds on field. Be some rats out there with some dogs, and we're going to defend. We're going to give it all we got.
JB is all about growth and development, and so there just was no other alternative. We have to continue to find ways to grow and develop when we're not together.
This is why we're trying to do these workouts and get closer as a team, and hopefully next year everyone's fresh and ready to go, and we're ready from day one.
With demonstrations triggered by George Floyd's death spreading to cities across the country, including Columbus, the city of Cleveland is preparing for protests as well.
So many people are asking me that, how am I doing? Am I okay? Physically, yes, I am okay. Mentally is a whole different story.
You never know when a moment is going to turn into a movement, and this was the time. And you see, with George Floyd, a police officer, with a knee on the back of his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. The difference with that is everyone in America had to see that. No matter what race, color, or creed you are, you had to confront that.
Cleveland, a city that's been on edge before. Seeing demonstrations triggered by police shootings and their aftermath.
To get online and see stuff like that on a regular basis, it's kind of like it has become a norm, and it shouldn't be a norm at all. In any perspective. But for me, just to get up and see stuff like that, it just hurt. because, you know, that could have been me. You know, I have little brothers, like it could have been them, like it could have been anybody, but like I feel nobody should have to, you know, go through stuff like that.
Being angry, at times being hopeful, you know, seeing how many people kind of rallied together to say, no, this has to stop, like we need to stand up. I think for me, relative to my role on this team, it was important to me to reach out to our players individually and recognize my role, my privilege as a white female. This is a time when all of us, you know, particularly white people, have to say, it's enough is enough. You know, we have to be together to say our country can be better. That's what real, you know, love and commitment to the country is, trying to get us to where the ideals, you know, fit what we're supposed to be about. So I'm proud to be part of this organization that has stood behind, you know, the right things, and proud to stand with this coaching staff and these guys, you know, who deserve better.
We've been doing what we can to help and speak out, and at some point it has to stop. It's a disturbing topic, and it needs change.
The other thing I'll say about what's going on now is, you know, we owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to the NBA players that are down in Orlando, living this every single day. It takes an emotional toll, all while doing it isolated from their families for 60+ days. And so I just think, you know, we owe them a tremendous debt of gratitude down there, because they're fighting this movement for us every day and getting real change done. And so we support them down there wholeheartedly, and we're doing our job up here to be a part of that mission.
And I believe that, you know, this is a moment where we are moving forward and we care more about ourselves and we care about each other.
And I think the NBA does a really good job of empowering their players to be human beings first and basketball players second.
So the biggest thing is don't let up. Don't let up. As long as it's peaceful, and you got to stand up. You know right and wrong. That's wrong. What's going on is wrong. So let's find a way to stand up for what's right.
Welcome everyone to the 2020 NBA Draft Lottery presented by State Farm. My name is Jerome Pickett, NBA Executive Vice President and Chief Security Officer. Best of luck to everyone. Here's how the lottery works.
This is, of course, a weighted lottery based on how teams finish the regular season. So Golden State, Cleveland, Minnesota, they all have a 14% chance at the top pick. Atlanta, 12.5%. And then here's everyone else.
And the 5th pick will be made by the Cleveland Cavaliers.
It's great to be back.
Yes, sir. Day 2. Bubble life. Let's get it.
Together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Together. Let's go. Stop.